They say the mind is the most powerful force in the universe, and yet we cannot see it, touch it, or measure it in absolute terms. Unlike a muscle whose strength can be quantified by weight lifted, or a machine whose speed is calculated in revolutions per minute, the human mind is an enigma. Its power lies not only in what it can do, but in the fact that we don't yet fully understand its limits. And perhaps what is most unsettling or awe-inspiring is that we may never fully understand it. Because the human mind is not just a tool we use, it is the very lens through which we perceive reality itself. From the beginning of civilization, people have been obsessed with understanding and transcending the mind. Shamans spoke of visions that transported them across spiritual dimensions. Philosophers like Descartes doubted everything except the existence of their own thinking. Neuroscientists today map neural circuits and brainwaves, hoping to decipher consciousness itself. Yet no single tradition has been able to capture its totality. Each only touches a fragment, like blind men describing an elephant from different sides. What is the nature of this strength? Is it willpower, the ability to endure suffering and press forward against all odds? Is it imagination, the faculty that allows humans to see what has never been and then make it real? Is it self-awareness, the strange recursion that allows the mind to observe itself and construct entire systems of ethics, philosophy, and logic? Or is it something more primal, more terrifying, the ability to bend reality by belief, the way placebo effects cure illness or mass delusions shift history? Consider a child born without sight, hearing, or the ability to speak. Helen Keller's case is often cited not for pity, but for revelation. She lived in a world of total darkness and silence, and yet through the touch of a teacher's hand, her mind burst into language. Within years, she became a writer, an activist, a thinker. What force was awakened in her that could translate vibrations on skin into abstract thought and moral reasoning? Clearly, the mind is not confined by the input of the senses. It invents its own pathways. Or, take the case of people with savant syndrome. Individuals with severe mental disabilities who can nonetheless perform feats beyond ordinary comprehension. Playing a symphony after hearing it once, calculating prime numbers with uncanny speed, or drawing a detailed skyline after a single glance. These cases are rare, but they suggest something buried within all of us. A latent architecture of mind far more powerful than what we typically access. The military has long been fascinated with this possibility, not just in terms of cognitive enhancement or psychological endurance, but in the idea that the human mind might be capable of controlling machines, predicting behavior, even influencing outcomes without physical action. Programs like the now declassified Stargate project explored whether remote viewing, using the mind to gather information from distant places, was more than fiction. It sounds like madness, but official documents exist. What if the limits of the mind have always been mistaken for miracles or madness, simply because they don't fit into our current scientific models? The brain itself is a physical structure. It weighs roughly 1.4 kilograms. It is made up of about 86 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others in a network of unfathomable complexity. These connections form patterns, loops, and rhythms, some instinctual, others learned. But the mind is not just the brain. This is one of the deepest philosophical puzzles. The mind is the experience of being, of reflecting, of intending. And while neuroscience can tell us what lights up when we feel joy or pain, it cannot yet tell us what it feels like to be you. This brings us to consciousness. The philosopher Thomas Nagel once asked, "What is it like to be a bat?" We can study its brain, model its sonar, map its behaviors, but we still do not know what it is like to be a bat. That internal what it is like is the essence of consciousness. And the fact that you are experiencing this moment, reading these words, and thinking thoughts no one else will ever have in exactly the same way, that is the human mind's most radical strength. It creates a private universe. But the mind does not only build inner worlds, it remakes the outer one. Cities, satellites, music, languages, mathematics, religions, nuclear weapons, poetry, all began as a thought in a human mind. The pyramids exist because someone imagined them before they were carved. Einstein's theory of relativity was born not in a laboratory, but in daydreams while working as a patent clerk. The moon landing was not just a feat of engineering, it was the triumph of imagination over gravity. Yet for all this strength, the mind is also fragile. It can be broken by trauma, fragmented by disease, hijacked by addiction. A single chemical imbalance can turn brilliance into delusion. The same capacity for creation enables cruelty. The human mind can justify genocide, manipulate entire populations, and invent systems of oppression. Perhaps what makes the mind so powerful is that it contains both heaven and hell, and can choose between them. Intriguingly, the mind also shapes the body. In experiments, patients given sugar pills experienced healing effects simply because they believed they were taking real medicine. The placebo effect is not just a quirk, it is proof that the mind can trigger physical change. In extreme cases, people have been known to survive fatal diseases or perform superhuman feats under stress, lifting cars to save loved ones, running vast distances barefoot to escape danger. In such moments, the mind overrides limits set by biology. Even more mysterious are the cases of neuroplasticity, how the brain rewires itself. Stroke victims can relearn lost functions. Amputees feel pain in limbs that no longer exist. Children born with half a brain can develop nearly full cognitive capacity. The mind adapts, reprograms, reconfigures. It is not static, it is alive, dynamic, and self-altering. The question arises, can we expand its power further? Technologies like brain-computer interfaces, neural implants, nootropics, and artificial intelligence promise to extend the mind beyond its natural design. Elon Musk's Neuralink aims to create a direct interface between thought and machine. Others propose virtual consciousness, uploading the mind to digital platforms. But even if we succeed, what will we become? Will an enhanced mind still be human, or something else entirely? And if we push the mind far enough, might it one day escape time? Consider, memory is a form of time travel. You can revisit the past. Imagination is a form of future projection. Dreams distort linear time altogether. In mystical experiences, people report timelessness, unity with all things, dissolution of self. Some neuroscientists call it a hallucination. Others suspect it's a glimpse of a deeper level of consciousness. There are experiments with psychedelics, substances that alter perception of self, space, and meaning. Under LSD or psilocybin, users report encountering intelligences, reliving forgotten memories, experiencing universal love or terror. Brain scans show altered activity, but cannot explain the content. Are these delusions, or are they revealing dimensions of mind we usually suppress? The philosopher William James argued that our normal waking consciousness is just one type of consciousness, while all around it lie other potential forms of awareness, separated by the filmiest of screens. Perhaps the strength of the human mind lies not in what it does, but in what it could do, if only we knew how to access those deeper layers. So where does that leave us? The human mind is strong, yes, but not in any ordinary sense. Its strength lies in its mystery, in its contradictions, in its ability to create beauty and horror, to reach for the stars while fearing the dark. It is fragile and indomitable, limited and infinite, blind and visionary. And perhaps its greatest strength is this, that it is asking this question at all. That somewhere in the swirl of neurons and symbols and self, there emerges a voice that wonders, how strong am I? And in the asking becomes stronger still.